My name is Andrea Gray. This is Raphael Gray, my husband. And then our son, Devon, he's 5. And our daughter, Nala, she's 2. And how we came to a natural birth is my husband was doing research. He likes to do research. And he came to me and said, I'm reading about this natural birth thing. And I heard it's really good for the baby. And I thought, oh, well, why don't you do that then, Because all I ever knew, ignorantly on my part, is you go to the hospital, you get an epidural, that's just the way it goes. That's what I heard my whole life, and I never knew anyone who did it natural or without a C-section. Natural, I mean without drugs. And so I thought, well, that's just the way it goes, isn't it?
Well, I didn't know what I was getting into, but yeah, I just started looking into alternative methods, I think it was just at first to get her away from the epidural, and then that led me to reading more.
The experience having her at home was, gosh, I mean, they say, when you're in labor, that's like the closest thing to death, which I believe. But it was just heavenly with having Lori and having that experience to be at home in your own house. I mean, no one's cleaner than your own house. You know what I mean? And not having the nurses with their checklist in your face every 5 minutes, and really enjoying it, soaking it all in, laboring the way I want, being able to eat and drink, which, again, just on a side note, for the hospital, I mean, they don't want you to eat anything. They want you to run this marathon of your life with no food or barely any water. It's barbaric. And so just to be able to have it our way, for me, it was just beautiful. And then having her and then being able to go straight to my own bed was just like, I mean, I conked out. I conked out with her in my arms, and we were happy. We were both happy. To me, it seems like in our world, birth is such a scary thing. In the movies, the women are screaming. Now, I did scream. But I understood what was going on with my body. And, the education behind it from Lori and Bradley classes is just phenomenal, because you learn what's going on with your body instead of someone telling you what's going on with your body. You understand, that you're in transition, all the things that are going on with your body. It's just...
Yeah, I would say it's a learning experience.
It's a learning experience.
It's a slow transition to fully accept it and understand. I mean, if somebody tells you about it, your first impression may not agree with it, may not know what it's all about, but it's a learning process, and once you're there, it's worth it.
Yeah, knowledge is power. That's my favorite thing. Educate yourself for yourself. So do your own research and then make an educated choice instead of, oh no, that's not for me, And for me as a woman, personally, it's the most empowering thing I've ever done in my life. And to know that I can birth a child, like I said, be the closest thing to death, and do that without any assistance. I mean, of course, except for emotional from my husband and the medical side with Lori, is just the most empowering thing. I feel like I can do anything, period. So, great. It's great.
From everything I've read and all the research I've done, birthing centers or any sort of out-of-hospital births for low-risk women are just as safe as being in the hospital. I chose to be in a birth center because I knew that I could be really comfortable in this kind of a setting. And I knew that if I were in a hospital, it would be really hard for me to try to relax. And I know that relaxing in labor is so important, to be able to relax through each contraction and try and do it drug-free, which is what I want to go completely natural. And I knew that that would be really hard in the hospital too, to try and kind of make my wishes known. And I didn't want to feel like I had to fight for what I wanted. I just wanted to let it happen and be in a really comfortable setting, and I knew that I could find that here. My little niece is 20 months old now, and I was able to be here at the birth center when my sister was having her, and just be with her throughout her whole labor. And it was such an amazing experience, because even though I had read up, I had kind of studied everything I needed to know for what labor was going to be like, just seeing her go through labor and make it through each contraction with her, and she'd be, breathing and groaning or moaning or whatever she needed to do, and she'd make it through each contraction. And we just supported her with that. We got her drinks when she needed it, and as long as she made it through each contraction, she was like, okay, now, I can do the next one. And it was just so neat seeing that she was never too much for her. It was never overwhelming. And it made birth really normal. Like, being able to see her go through the whole progression of labor. And it made me realize it's not anything too much to handle. And made me realize that, yeah, I can do that when my time comes. I really want to be in this kind of a relaxed setting. Since I was able to be here and see Lori kind of in action when my sister was with her, I knew that she was the one that I wanted to have as my midwife when we got pregnant. So as soon as we found out, I called her pretty soon, and we started seeing her on regular visits, and towards the end now it's been every other week, and now every week. And Lori is such a just warm person, so easy to talk with and be comfortable with, and I'm really glad I chose her as my midwife. Well, we're excited to have her be the one to help us have our little son. So the facilities are great. It feels like a second home to us. It really feels like a bed and breakfast type of place. And with all coming out here so often, it feels like a second home. So I know that it'll be really comfortable. The facilities, I know, I love being able to have the option to have a water birth here, to have the birth tub, because I wasn't going to be able to get that in a hospital setting. The rooms and everything are so cozy, and I know she has all the equipment that she needs if anything does go wrong. And there's hospitals close by if we needed to be transferred for any reason. And I feel great about that. Then Lori and then the ladies that she has working with her are so easy to get along with as well, and they're really warm and friendly, and I feel really great about them too.